a toggle start. Oh, that's how you go up and down. I always got to figure out how to adjust my seat before I get into the car. I'm pretty sure everything is probably manual. Oh, that's how you adjust the seat cushion? That specific cushion? That's interesting. Okay, that's the recline. And there's my seat. Okay. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Garage 99. Today we are in a 2017 Mini Cooper S hardtop John Cooper Works. Go ahead and say that 5 times fast. This car I actually have been wanting to drive for a long time. It's a very interesting car. This one actually has been lent out to us by Monicatti Auto Sales. They're up here in New Haven, about 94 in New Haven Road. So for those of you who don't know about the John Cooper Works, it's kind of the special, so they have a Mini Cooper, then they have a Mini Cooper S, which has a little bit more power, a little bit more sportiness to it. And then they have the Mini Cooper John Cooper Works, which is basically the most expensive retail vehicle dollar per horsepower, because this thing has 225 horsepower and these things go for about 50 to 55,000 brand new. That's insane. However, what you're getting out of it is a lightweight car that's about 2,845 pounds out of a 2-liter turbo 4-cylinder front-wheel drive car. So it creates a very awesome lightweight driving experience for you. Now, I just got out of a BMW, so I'm probably going to see a lot of BMW features inside of this car, because if you guys don't know, they're pretty similar cars. Now let's see what we got here. Ah, sport. Let's motor hard, it says right in the middle of the screen. Oh my God, I was not expecting that. This car is 230 horsepower. Wow. And did you guys hear those pops? This is an awesome car. This is all stock and it sounds like that. Oh, okay, I haven't even gotten to the details of this car. So outside of the John Cooper Works driving and sounding like that, it does have an 8-speed automatic that shifts wickedly fast because it is a BMW transmission. This one is one of my favorite color choices. In fact, it's the silver with the red stripes, and it has the British flags mirror caps, which I adore those. I think that is so cool, because this car does typically come from the heritage of racing and all that. So yeah, there's a lot of cool things with this car. The old style ones used to have the big tack in the middle, and they changed that. They put the tack on the side and they put the speedometer in the middle. Now you got a bunch of digital gauges. There is no heads-up display on this car. I noticed that. My buddy has a Countryman S that I'm pretty familiar with. But it is definitely like a typical vehicle you put in sport mode, because it's keeping you in the low RPM but high enough in the power band. So this thing's pretty cool. It doesn't have any flashy interior. It's very classy. It's a lot of leather and gloss black. There's a couple carbon fiber accents. Your steering wheel is very, very aggressive. It's got red stitching in it. It's got perforated leather, so you got a nice grip when you're driving it. There is a manual mode, there is paddles, but typical new automatic cars, they give you that option. However, the driving experience is going to be more exhilarating if you let the car drive the way it needs to drive. So you typically won't touch that kind of stuff unless you actually feel the need to, I don't know, have a more engaging kind of old school feel to it. But because these cars are so technologically advanced, you don't really think or worry about that kind of stuff. So the design of this car on the inside is very, very, very unique. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to put this back into the normal driving mode because stop and go traffic does not like it. Let's put it in green mode. Let's minimalize, it says. And the whole dashboard just turned green when it did that. That was very cool. It does have auto climate control. You do have heated leather seats. Maybe you don't have heated seats. This car is the top tier sports car, so the fact that it has manual seats and everything, it shouldn't bother you, because you still get a nice comfortable seat out of it. It's nice, comfortable armrests and everything, nice seating position. Like I always say, I'm 6'2". I do fit in this very comfortably. I have the seat all the way down, all the way back. The technology in here is really cool because you still get nice analog screens, but they throw in a digital screen that has quite a few options below that. This car is very uniquely designed. It's very cool. Back seats actually look like they're useful in this vehicle, which is cool. You don't see many two-door vehicles with useful back seats, and it looks like there's no trunk space in this vehicle for like a, you know, an everyday usable vehicle. However, just like my vehicle, I always throw the back seats down because it is a hatchback and there's tons of room when you put the back seats down. I would say this is a vehicle that was produced and made for you to have the largest driving experience while having a small, nimble vehicle and still being practical. It's a very practical vehicle. I would say this one's very comparative to my vehicle because they're both front-wheel drive 4 cylinders. They're both hatchbacks, 4-seaters, turbocharged, but I think this one is a little more technologically advanced. There's a lot of beautiful features in here that makes the interior look a lot nicer than mine. Mine's pretty nice. I drive a 2015 Focus ST with a ST3 package, nice car seats and everything. But I definitely think this one, they put a lot more effort and energy into. It makes sense that it is 10 to 15 more than mine as a brand new vehicle. Lots of options. This is one of those vehicles. I just drove a C5 Corvette and it was kind of a bare bones, like here's the radio, here's the air conditioning, there's the stick, go. Or this is kind of like one of the vehicles, you need to read the brochure. It does have a pretty nice Harman Kardon sound system in it, which I know I've heard that before, and it sounds absolutely beautiful. I would imagine nothing but the best is for this vehicle because it is owned and ran by BMW. My goodness, the steering is so tight. All right, so we're gonna go back into sport mode. Let's see if we can throw it in neutral and play with that exhaust a little bit while we're sitting here. I would never get tired of that. I wish my car sounded like that. That's awesome. So it has the exact same turn stocks and everything as a BMW, where you click them and they return back to neutral. Sitting at an idle, you get a little bit of a rumble while it's in sport mode. I imagine it's because the valve opened. There is an exhaust valve for this vehicle, I believe, because it does sound pretty good. I think Mini Cooper actually did a really good job engineering a nice sounding exhaust from the factory. Go ahead and take a listen. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and get on the freeway here. A couple more pops and crackles. Wow, that power comes in like crazy. I've never driven a front-wheel drive Mini. Goodness gracious. Wow, this thing's blisteringly fast. This has almost half the horsepower of the BMW I just drove, and I would say this is just as fast. It has an unbelievable amount of speed behind it. And even when you're driving it and you get on it and let off, oh, what an awesome sound. This is a very entertaining vehicle. I can absolutely see why people would purchase a vehicle like this. This is so much fun. It's unfortunate because it's a lot more fun than my car. It just pops and crackles every single time you let off. What were they thinking when they made this? This is so cool. You got really cool toggle switches up here too. I believe those are the dome lights. You got really cool toggle switches throughout the whole thing. Hopefully I remember to show all you guys everything in here. Every time you let off, it just goes pop, 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 pop. What an enjoyable vehicle. You know, it's almost strange too. I feel like you actually hear the pops and crackles inside the vehicle more than you hear them outside the vehicle, because it almost sounds like it's just underneath the boot. That would never get old. Park over here, and we're going to give this little puppy an outside review. I didn't even mention the ride in this vehicle. The ride is very refined. I wouldn't call it stiff, I wouldn't call it soft. It has zero body roll though. It's a lot like the Focus actually. They kind of engineered it to be a nice daily driver with a lot of sporty feel and handle to it and everything. This is a pretty well put together vehicle. I had my doubts about it, but I really enjoy this car. This is a very fun, entertaining car. And I mean, it being front wheel drive, if somebody wanted to drive this year round all the time as a nice reliable vehicle, they can have fun with it. They can put a couple people in it. Yeah, you gotta move the seat up and have somebody get in the back, but you can do whatever you like. If you and your significant other want to take it on a road trip, you put the seats down, this would be an awesome road trip vehicle for you guys. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of the things outside. I'll give you a little outside exhaust clip, hopefully with the pops and burbles included, and then we'll finish this review up. Okay, so now that we're done driving, I can show you guys a little bit more of what it looks like from my driving perspective. So you do have a normal automatic transmission. However, when you're in drive, you can put it over into sport, and it even shows what gear you're in up there, and it shows sport right there. So you got that. You've got this beautiful little digital dash down there with the John Cooper Works logo just below it. That shows you a bunch of simple things like your miles, your trip, how many miles to eat, a temperature outside, a time. And then you've got these cool little like bar lit gauges for what I believe to be your fuel all the way up. So it looks like it's about a quarter tank. This is the amazing infotainment system in this car. So check this out. It actually has this little white bar along with this orange and this red. As I increase the RPM, I don't know if you guys can catch that. It shows the RPM on this thing. It even has a little tachometer thing like on the outside of it with a red line. How freaking cool is that? Then you got your John Cooper Works logo up here. You've got your really cool like fighter jet toggle switches. This is the start engine stop button. You've got your automatic off. You've got your traction control, which I would recommend keeping on. I don't see any reason to take it off in this vehicle. You've got your really cool carbon fiber accents. You've got your toggle switches up here as well. This is the hard top. It doesn't have the typical sunroof like a lot of them have, but then you've got these beautiful, really comfortable, they kind of are firm at first, but then you kind of sink into it. It's almost like a memory foam, but they're very firm, squishy seats. They're very comfortable. And here's your back seat. You've got speakers back there as well. Look like very comfortable 2 bucket seats. Not a third seat in the middle, but you got a cup holder. And then this is your collar that you'd spin to change the driving mode. So we're currently in sport mode. If you put it over into normal mode, it says let's motor in mid mode. And then you put it into green and it says let's minimize. It shows all kinds of things with it trying to be green, but it shows your little Mini Cooper on there. But check it out when you go into sport mode. It says let's motor hard. It shows it as like a little go-kart, it's like thinking about being a rocket ship and a go-kart. It's really cool. It's very unique the way Mini Cooper does a lot of things like this. And then you've got your beautiful steering wheel with the paddle shifters built onto it. You can also shift with the shifter, like back is for up, forward is for down. You've got your navigation buttons right here that change things on the screen as you turn it. Me, never have been sitting in one before. If you guys have even been considering this vehicle, I would 100% give them a call to come check it out, because this thing is way more fun than I expected it to be. I'm hoping there are other vehicles like this. This is why I love doing what I do, because I like to experiment, and there's too many vehicles in the world and life is short. You gotta enjoy them, and I'd like to just get the information out there to you guys. I like to talk about all the different features and things in cars. I notice a lot more than normal people do, so it's good for me to get that stuff out there and tell you guys what I think about a vehicle. Maybe you care what I think, maybe you don't, that's fine. I'm gonna go back outside. So let's talk about the outside of the car. So you've got your John Cooper Works door sills just outside of it. You got your super short wheelbase here. This beautiful, the John Cooper Works calipers. You got your John Cooper Works red painted rims. You got your John Cooper Works badge right here. You've got your British racing flags. You got your mini stripes along the side, the John Cooper Works badge in the front. The aggressive hood bump, you got the hood scoop, you've got all your vents down below, and you got the same thing over here, along with your pretty cool little roof spoiler that they give you. And then you've got a center exhaust, which is the John Cooper exhaust that opens up and gives you all those nice crackles, pops, and bangs when you're, you know, having fun with it. So it's a very refined vehicle that you can either drive as an economy vehicle, or you can drive it around when you're feeling like you want to just have fun on the way home from work. You throw it into sport mode and enjoy yourself. So I'd like to thank you all so much for watching. I'd like to give a huge shout out to Monicatti Auto Sales. They're our new partner and we're working with them right now. We're trying to get their name out there. They're trying to give me some nice vehicles for content. We're giving them another platform that they can expand onto. So we're working with them. They're our new partner. I'd like to give a huge shout out to Monicatti Auto Sales for giving us this opportunity to drive this vehicle today, because they're making it happen, guys. I'd like to thank you all so much for watching. Peace out. Keep turning those gears.